Okay, you crazy bastard wrestling fans out there. Hey, I'm a wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling since I was 4 years old. That's right. Don't remember much of that, but I do remember some of it. Then I took a long hiatus of about 25 years and then got back into it. I watch them all. I watch WWE, which it's kind of boring and kind of youngish stupid. I watch AEW. It's my favorite because I like the blood and guts. I'm one of the sickos, I guess you could say. And I watch TNA, and sad to say that they've gone the way of the WWE geek. So anyhow, here we go. I'm here to talk about Hulk Hogan. Now, I used to be a huge fan way back in the day, 90s, 80s, back in the day. Don't remember watching WCW, but no doubt I did. Then I got really pissed because somebody told me that wrestling was fake and that it was all staged, and I thought it was real, being a young kid. And it bummed me out, so I quit watching it. Then I, moved over to MMA, back to boxing, stuff like that. At any rate, this Hulk Hogan thing, Hulk Hogan was a rah-rah, go America, blah, blah, rah, 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 which I never liked because I don't like that crap because it's fake patriotism. Then he shows up making racist remarks because his daughter was dating out of the white. Then he also bangs one of his friend's wives. It gets filmed and exposed. I guess that was a bummer. But he collects like millions of dollars and puts Gawker out of business. And then he shows up later on here, he shows up later at the Netflix debut of Raw and just gets his ass booed. So come on, figure it out, folks. Figure it out why so many of us don't like Hulk Hogan and didn't like Hulk Hogan. And you know what? My condolences go out to his family. I don't know his family, so that isn't going to mean much. I know a lot of people expressed a lot of love for Terry. And, I don't have love for that guy. I do have to admit, though, he did a hell of a lot of good stuff for the wrestling business. Yes, he did. He really did. And he got a lot of Americans who might not have been or a lot of people, period, around the world who might not have been very involved, with wrestling or liked it, and gave them a lot of entertainment value. So we gotta give them a lot of kudos for that. I don't like the rah 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 America crap. Then he comes out. What really turned me off and turned off a lot of people, obviously, was when he came out at the Republican National Convention and endorsed Trump. You know what? There's a lot of us out there that almost quit watching WWE because of Dana White. I know he's UFC, but he's TKO, and they're all TKO. Trump showing up at UFC events, making all kinds of stupid comments, the crap with Vince and Trump, back in the 90s, I think it was, early 2000s. No, I don't want to support people like that, and I'm going to get rid of Peacock because I don't want to pay WWE any more money for anything. Now, I watch Netflix anyway, so that's not a big deal. And Raw is a lot better than SmackDown. And the PLEs are good, but I can get them somewhere else for free, so I don't care. Yeah, I really don't care about WWE. I really don't. I'm not a big fan because the wrestling, in my opinion, got really weak. And then, lately, since Triple H has been back and there's a little bit more violence, there's occasionally there's a little blood. We don't need blood, but occasionally there's a little blood. And so it's gotten better. Some of the distractions in matches are pretty cool, right? But then the behind the scenes stuff, it's on a good day for me, it's 50-50. I really don't like a bunch of this shit, a bunch of this wrestle opera, I call it, the soap opera crap. I like the way that AEW does it because AEW kind of does it in the ring and then puts a video up while the in-ring is getting ready to happen. And I like that better. It concentrates on the sport. And it is, it is an entertainment sport. There's a lot of ability involved. It is staged. They have meetings to set up how matches are going to go. And I'll tell you what, you will know who's going to win a match 90% of the time. Okay, you'll know in advance if you watch this stuff at all. You'll know. So when it comes to WWE, though, I just really don't like the way they work. They're another monopolistic, oligarchic type pile of consumer shit, right? And okay, shareholders be damned. I don't care if you own shares in them. I really don't care. I don't care if they're a success. In fact, I would love it if they weren't. And it does look like, even though I think it's temporary, it looks like, though, their popularity is starting to slightly wane, especially on Netflix. They don't have all the hoopla they once had. SmackDown, a lot of these shows have gone downhill, and then they come out with all this ancillary crap. Like behind the scenes, come on, who cares about that? Come on, his shit's fake and made up. Why wouldn't that be, right? So that doesn't impress me. All the evolution stuff doesn't impress me. None of this coaching crap. I guess it's cool for the wrestlers because they do get to be, better entertainers because of this. And they've got a lot of new talent on NXT. Now, I really like NXT a lot. But I do have to say, however, I've got to say that, the whole thing for me is a fail. Okay, I like it, I watch it, and some of it entertains me. And luckily, there's something called fast forward, right? So I don't have to watch the commercials. I don't have to watch all that backstage hoopla. Occasionally I do because some of it's good. Most of it I don't like. It's just a waste of my time. So, in a 2-hour wrestling show or 2.5 hours, if I usually get about an hour of wrestling, okay? I guess that's the most I can hope for. It's more than that on AEW. In a 2-hour show, I probably get 90 minutes, maybe 80 minutes of wrestling. So it's more value for me. It's more of a well-spent bunch of my time. And this is not to say that there aren't great wrestlers in WWE. There are. Look at how many of the ex-AEW folks, most of them who migrated back and forth between WWE and AEW. Look how many of them are on the roster now. I mean, Cody Rhodes came over. He was originally WWE. He came over. He won the championship in AEW. His star dimmed and his value dimmed as fans were actually booing him at one point. And I guess he and Tony Khan didn't see eye to eye. So he moved on and he went back and he finished the story. Well, and it's been good. Now, the Cody Rhodes shit, I think, is great. Okay? And then now you've got Mariah May, a.k.a. Blake Monroe. Disgusting. I think it's disgusting what she's doing over there. If she would have held out and really got some money out of Tony, it would have been better. It would have made the women's division better in AEW. But now she's over there it's not congested, but it's a little crowded over there. And so now she'll go up to the main roster, I would say. I'll give her 90 days at the most in NXT. She'll probably win the title. She'll go up to the main roster after she loses or drops the title. And then she'll be fighting it out with Julia and with Stephanie Vacker. Now, Stephanie Vacker, really another scumbag situation. And I think she's kind of an idiot when it comes to knowing what goes on in this country here. And that's okay. It's just ignorance. It's going out with the deaf guy, which is, I guess, okay. She's really, to me, she's very, very beautiful. And I love her wrestling skills. And I liked it better when Mercedes Moné beat her in AEW. Julia, I really like too. And I'm really impressed with her. So, a lot of cool stuff in the women's division on WWE is going really well. And I really like women's wrestling a lot. I like it just as much as the men. And so I got to give them kudos. I think AEW is up and coming in that area. TNA has always had a great knockouts program. Unfortunately, now NXT is over there polluting it, in my opinion. I think that TNA will eventually be completely bought out and owned by WWE. Sad because it is Canadian owned, by that group. And I think it's a good group, and I like what they've done with the company. I don't like what they did to Scott D'Amore, but that's okay. He's a survivor. He's a winner, and he likes to work with all the different promotions. So I really don't like what's going on over in TNA. With all this. Okay, Trick Williams is the champ. Well, that's cool what they've done with him, but and then you got the Knockouts champion being JC Jane, and JC Jane was always a third fiddle to the original Fatal Attraction gal, okay, Mandy Rose, who went on to OnlyFans and make millions. Now the former Jade, Cora Jade, is doing everything on OnlyFans, making her money as Elena Black. I don't know what her name is. I'm not going to watch her OnlyFans. I wouldn't pay for that shit. OnlyFans, if I want to see nude photos of somebody, I just go on Google and Google them. I can find their porn videos, that the fake ones and the real ones. I can find naked pictures of them, even having sex. You know what? I've seen all those old divas nude photos, right? Because I wanted to, and I looked at it. Well, anymore, I don't really do that stuff, I really don't care about that, and I think that the thing of it is here is you can't blame the women wrestlers for going to OnlyFans. That's where the money is. Yeah, I mean, Mandy Rose made like $1 million a month the first couple of months. I mean, even if she's only making $50,000 or $100,000 a month, that's probably more than she made in WWE. In fact, I think she said so. So I don't blame any of these gals. I hope more of them do it. And this, they make their name, like some of the experts are saying. They make their name in the wrestling promotions. They get in OnlyFans. When they do that with WWE, they get cut. But who cares? So they get $1 million a month. Why would they stop it? Except for being stupid, like Mariah May or whatever the hell her real name is, would have been better off to go to OnlyFans, stay on AEW, start making the big bucks. But but she wants the fame. She wants fame. She doesn't want the big bucks. She says, "Oh well, Blake Monroe, Mariah May, Monica May, like Booker T calls you. I don't give a shit. I really don't. It's fun to watch you over there in NXT, but it pales in comparison to the great feud that you had with Tony Storm." So anyway, that's enough out of me. Don't pay for WWE. Get yourself an app that you can get all that crap for free. Don't watch that crap. If you got Netflix, which many of us do, you can watch Raw on there all the time if you want. I wait till it's over and then I watch it, and it's pretty much commercial free. So that works for me. Anyway, and then AEW, I love AEW. It's going. An old buddy of mine was a professional wrestler. He's not with us on the planet anymore. He died and OD'd. But anyway, he turned me on to AEW when I started watching WWE again about 5 years ago. And I'm glad he did, because I much prefer the style of wrestling there over WWE, even though I like both. I do. I like TNA, I like WWE, I like AEW, I like MLW, I watch some of those. I like GCW, I watch some of those. I watch Bloodsport when I can. And one of my big favorites, which is some of the best wrestling in the world, is New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wow, they're great. So, folks, if you get a chance, watch all this other content. It's really good. And I hope that you subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of stuff up here. I have a wide variety of topics I cover. Some of them I'm definitely expert in. So, if you don't like my political commentary, oh well, you can go worship Trump somewhere. Anyway, take care. Have a great Thursday.